Good morning. Hi guys, let's start another repair video from Idris Tech. I have a PS4 Pro today that come in, and as soon we load the game it is very loud. It starts overheating as the fan gets really loud. It turns off after giving an overheating message within 15 to 20 seconds. कौन सी चलाऊं? 7 चला लें. I will load a game to play it with the disc. As you can hear, the fan with loud noise is speeding up, and the message has popped up. It has shut off after giving multiple beeps. Alright, so I'm going to start taking the PS4 Pro apart. The warranty stickers are already off. Under the stickers gonna see two Torx T8 screws and remove them. Here is the hard disk drive cover. I will remove the HDD cover, lifting this panel and taking it out. Here is one more screw to unscrew for the bottom cover, and then we are just going to lift the bottom cover off. Be careful before lifting the bottom cover, that has some locks, should be unlocked first. Now you lift this bottom cover off it. Then I'm going to undo this Phillips screw here so we can remove the hard drive. Once we remove the screw, we can just pull and the hard drive is going to come out. Because this requires taking the motherboard out and everything else, I will remove them. To take the motherboard out, unscrew rest of these black screws holding this plate. There are a bunch of screws that we need to remove. Some of them are Torx T8 screws and then the rest of them are Phillips. Remove the antenna cables and remove the fan connector. This is the fan connector. And remove these ribbon cables. One of them has the black clip that you got to lift. The big one has a clip. You don't want to break this piece. Now you can take this metal plate off this motherboard. Now it is your turn to remove this APU shield. Just unscrew all of its black screws. After lifting the shield off, you can unscrew the X clamp screws that are holding the heatsink. I still cannot get this motherboard out. The first thing is to unplug this power supply. First, remove the top cover. From the top, sticking up your fingers under where it says PS4, and then the other side. Stick your fingers in there and then you pull up. Just there you go. Now I will remove the screws holding in the power supply unit. You are going to need a Torx T8 screwdriver for this job. Remove all the screws and the metal shield from the PSU. I am going to lift this piece out and put it on the side. There is the connector at the front. You can remove it from the power supply or you can remove it from the motherboard. I would usually prefer to remove it from the PSU, but for this video I will remove it from the motherboard to make everything easier for you guys. Finally, the motherboard is out now. The thermal paste looks like it has already been replaced, but it has not been replaced by any standard thermal paste. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and replace the thermal paste. So I am gonna remove the old thermal paste, and before do that, I'm going to look into the heatsink and the fan looking for dust, which is what I suspect is causing the system overheats. The fan is not seized, it just needs cleaning. All these things should be thoroughly cleaned. I'm going to remove the old thermal paste. You can wipe down the old paste with some napkins depending on how dry the paste is. It is not dry at all, it is coming off very smoothly, but if this gets dry, the best way to remove the thermal paste, you get some isopropyl rubbing alcohol or any medical grade alcohol. For this, what you are going to to do is you are going to pour some isopropyl alcohol on the heatsink and rub it off. And do the same for the APU chip. You will be sure to clean it all up and don't want two different mixes of compounds mixing them up. Make sure that the surface of the chip is clean and mirror-like. Now it will be known that you have cleaned it. Apply a new thermal paste. There is too much is not good, just put this much. So the best way to do this is to put it on the heatsink first and put just a little bit, not too much. And apply some on the processor chip, not too much, as equal to 1 grain. You could spread it with a flat card or a credit card or any card that you may have around you. Or you can just put it in as it will expand evenly with the force of the heatsink clamp. पूरी है बल्कि एक्स्ट्रा लग गई है, ये फैल जाएगी ना। Make sure you got all the cables out from underneath the motherboard. Now we can start installing the motherboard back in and connect the fan connector. It is the antenna cable. I will put them back in later on. It is time to install all the ribbon cables. You shall want to make sure these are pushed in up to the blue line. Never forget to keep this piece back on the motherboard. Now put the X clamp back on this piece. Just screw the screws diagonally one at a time and tighten them all at the same time. सीडी रोम तो सही चल रहा है। वो मैंने कहा था कि सीडी रोम तक खोलना पड़ता है फैन निकालने की, वो फैन निकालना नहीं पड़ेगा। Don't forget to put the metal shield back with Phillips screws on this X clamp. Connect the antenna cables by properly routing them from their tracks. I now have to screw all the screws related to the metal plate. No one has left. And now we are going to flip it over and install the cable connector that we removed, like that. Connect the standby volt connected to the motherboard. Now the power supply unit is being hooked up to it. From the front, push it in and put the metal shield back on and screw all the T8 screws. I am going to install the long Torx T8 screws that go in. I am also going to install the other Torx T8 screws. Are 3 of them that go here. Okay, now the hard drive. This side goes in first. Handle it and push it in from the back. And tighten it with its appropriate Phillips screw. After connecting the main power and the HDMI cable, I will let you test it. I am about to power it on from here. I am gonna let it sit and let it run for a bit. But as you can hear, it is already running a lot quieter than it was before. I am about to run a game on it and see how loud it gets. If it even gets loud. I'm going to be testing the console to show you guys the difference. and I am thinking it is gonna be running a lot quite long. I have cleaned out the dust from the fan and the heatsink. I have replaced the old thermal paste with the fresh one too. Now it should run very quietly. Alright, it has been running for about 5 minutes now and you can barely hear it is on. It is already significantly quieter than it was last time.
Что делать?
Sheena.
Show me.
Now?
Now.
ठीक है यहीं से चेक होगा
What are we hunting?
You are hunting deer.
Which way?
In the direction of deer.
Okay.
Before closing its top and bottom cover, I must blow air into its vent grills to remove the dust.
Father, why are we doing this now?
I need to know you can survive the journey.
Then we leave for the mountain?
Depends on you. Hunt. What did you find?
Trash. Not here though.
They return air to your central heating or cooling system to condition it. Assure all sides of grills must be neat and clean
More
and
tracks?
should not be
Yeah.
a blockage of
They're
any
too
kind.
round. Could be a wild boar.
Good.
Oh! Now what?
Now turn it off and if necessary try cleaning its fan blades with a brush. And then blow it with compressed air.